What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Single Player Experience Podcast, the premier podcast for single player gamers to find out about good single player games to play and also find out about some developer journeys. We also talk about things that you should be on the lookout for, things you should put on your wish list. And today's episode is focused on all three of those things that I just said, because we're going to talk about a game that you should definitely not only have on your wish list, but you should be playing right now on PC. We're also going to talk with the developer about his journey creating this game and the lessons he's learned after releasing this game. And we're going to talk about some of the other games that you should definitely be looking out for with Steam Next Fest going on right now. So I can't do all this alone. Obviously, if you're on the video version, you're seeing that I have a guest with me today. And this guest has been on the show before. He is the creator of a very, very good game that I thoroughly enjoyed earlier this year, and that's Makis Adventure. My guest today is the one other. I don't know why I said that. Excuse me. My guest is the one and only creator of Makis Adventures, and that is ZoroArts himself. Zoro, how you doing today?
Hey, I'm very good. It's pretty warm here in Germany, so I'm sweating, but I'm happy to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
I understand it's 100 degrees right here in Texas, so it's on the
Yeah.
other side of hell is what it feels like as far as temperature wise. But anyways, man, thank you so much for being on the show. I wanted to touch base with you because about what was this maybe a week ago you tweeted something that went pretty hot on social media, and I
Yeah.
wanted to get your feedback, your take on what you tweeted. So I want to start with that, if you don't mind. So you tweeted out why my indie game failed. I've spent 2 years developing my first indie game, and 4 months after its release, it still did not hit my financial goals. It's still a huge success for me personally. Here is a thread with 3 reasons why. And I wanted to talk about that. First of all, we'll dive into each reason specifically. I feel like that's a whole conversation in itself, but I'll right off the top, like, what made you post this?
On the one hand, I know that posting insights and posting game dev advices is really good for other developers to learn because I want to share my experience. I want to share my knowledge and maybe help some other developers because it was my first game, so I was really overwhelmed and I had pretty high expectations from the launch, to be honest. So it was good to be humbled down, if you know what I mean, with the
Yeah.
with the launch. I mean, it was a pretty good, a pretty okay launch for a first game, but far beyond my experience, my no,
Your
far
expectations?
yeah,
Below
yeah,
your
far
expectations, yeah.
below, yeah. Okay, so I just wanted to share my knowledge, and I knew that posting those kind of tweets would normally do pretty well on Twitter because Twitter is a space for developers and for game industry people. So the feedback would be the best on Twitter, I thought. So I just and also I watched a lot of people post threads over the last weeks, and for myself I also really like those threads and wanted to do one on my own.
I love that mentality. It's like you can always learn from other people's success and other people what they perceive as failures. Because this is your first game ever, man. I don't see this as I of course I'm not in your business with the financial information, but when I played this game, it didn't feel like a failure game to me. It felt like a game that just not enough people had played. If you understand where I'm going with that,
Yeah.
it felt like, and you mentioned, we'll get into that in a little bit, because that's a part of some of the reasons why you feel like it failed in its initial launch. But I want to let you know that based on what I played, this is a good game, and you should really be proud of yourself, man.
Thank you.
All right, so first and foremost, for the people who don't know you, can you introduce yourself to the audience? Because we sort of just dove right into the main topic of the show. I'm sorry about that.
Okay, so my name is Mateo. I'm a 20 years old game developer from Germany. I started my journey 3 years ago. I wanted to find new interest during the Corona thing, and the school was locked down, and we all sat home as students, and we had so much time because we hadn't go to school. So I just searched for another interest. In my previous years, I love to draw, and I love digital drawing and traditional drawing, and I really wanted to find a new hobby. So I just watched some YouTube videos, and one of the videos was a game devlog, I think it was,
Mhm.
and I was really happy to see how one developer could make a game, and I wanted to do it my own because I love playing video games my whole life. So I really wanted to do develop a video game next. So yeah, I dived into it. Over the first year, I made some small prototypes. I started with Unity, but I also over the journey I gone through several engines like Game Maker. I worked with Unreal Engine, but at the end I stick to Unity. And in 2020, I prototyped a lot. So I made some mobile prototypes like a racing game. I just wanted to learn many mechanics and how to handle the engine, how to write C# code, and all that stuff. But at March 2021, I really wanted to make a longer project, and then I started to develop my first commercial game, Makis Adventure.
Yeah, and it's a game that's very centric around like sharks. It kind of has a lot of old school Nintendo 64 vibes, but with in aspects, and then it also has like a really cool modern platformer vibes. It's like a tale of two genres. I really enjoyed playing through Matisse's Adventure, and I think you made something really outstanding here. I want to pivot. I want to talk about something for a little bit, and this is something I want to emphasize to people who are listening onto the show. How old are you, Mateo?
I'm 20.
This man made a game at 20 years old. 20 years old. Do you know what most of us are doing at 20 years old? It's not making a video game. I'll tell you that right now. So, man, you should definitely feel proud of everything you created with this game because this is amazing to do at 20 years old.
Thank you.
All right, so let's dive into like the thread here because you said reason number one is the genre. You said my game is a 2D platformer, which is pretty oversaturated genre on Steam. The competition was huge, and the chance to have success with a game of that genre is super small. Do you still feel that way, that the genre was part of the reason why you maybe should have pivoted to another genre?
Definitely. For myself, I never wanted to make only a big popular game. I wanted to make this game because for the one reason I love sharks, so I wanted to make a game about sharks, and I also wanted to make a retro-like platformer in 2D. So for me, I knew from the beginning that a platformer would not be a genre that would sell me millions of copies because platformers are really oversaturated on Steam, as I said in the comment. So there are so many platformers because, like for me, I thought a platform would be a great game to start because it's simple to program. But I found out that it's not the truth. So developing a platformer with a story and an inventory and all the systems is pretty hard. And yeah, but I really wanted to make a platformer. So I knew that it wouldn't sell me millions of copies, but it was a passion project, and it still is my hobby right now. So but yeah, I think it's a good start. It's a good starting project for me.
I think that's really good insight there because like you're right, we do kind of learn from our experiences of the past there, and whether like this could also have long tail success down the road in the future, but this could also just be the learning blocks to some like the new experiences that you're creating down the corner, because I know right now you're creating a really cool game that I'm highly interested in. It's a roguelike game, right?
Yes, a roguelike.
Man, you speaking my language there. I love a good roguelike ever since like Hades, Dead Cells, like games that are in that kind of wheelhouse are right up my alley. So can you like before we dive deeper into some of the reasons why you feel like your game didn't quite live up to expectations, can you tell us a little bit about the new game that you're working on?
Okay, so I started with the project.
Hmm.
For me, it started 3 months ago because it was mainly another game earlier, so I wanted to make a Zelda-like game with a dungeon. But later on, I thought this game wasn't unique enough, and it wasn't enough for me personally. So I wanted to completely change the game. I worked 2 months on a prototype, but I completely threw it over and completely started with a new project. And at that time, I really played a lot of Enter the Gungeon. It's my favorite roguelike video game, and
So
it's
good.
also it's so much fun. The replayability is so high, and you can play hundreds of rounds in one evening, and it's not getting boring. So I really wanted to make a game that has a high replayability, has many things to choose between. For example, Enter the Gungeon has the weapons, but in my game, I want to combine the upgrade system from Vampire Survivors, where you can upgrade your abilities, and for example, in the end, there are thousands of projectiles flying through the screen and attacking the enemies that are coming in hordes around you. I really wanted to get this bullet heaven vibe and combine it with a procedurally generated dungeon from Enter the Gungeon, and that's my the pitch for my game right now. So I combine both games, and I want to bring it both together into one experience. And yeah, Rogue Jungle is for me the pitch is Rogue Jungle is a action roguelike where you have to fight your way through a procedurally generated dungeon. It's a jungle area, so a jungle dungeon with trees and jungle temples, for example. And it's really a jungle vibe, if you know what I mean. And yeah, it's going pretty good right now with development. I'm
That's
super
exciting.
happy. I'm super happy with the actual development, and it could be interesting for you because this Sunday there's a first public playtest
What?
via Steam.
That is
I will
amazing.
notify you. I will send you a message via Twitter or Discord, and yeah, it's public to play. Everybody can join,
Yeah.
and it's like this game is in development for little bit over a month now.
hmm
Um, yeah, and it's pretty shaping up really nicely. I have to say. And in this playtest, there are already I think 50 upgrades, and there's a dungeon with 30 rooms to explore, and it has around 15 to 20 minutes of playtime one dungeon.
Oh, okay.
But it is only one dungeon, so the procedurally generated part is not into the playtest right now, because that's basically the whole game, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it wouldn't make sense to make this to get the generation into a demo, because there's no reason to buy the full game then, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
It's
for
pretty.
sure. For sure. And that speaks to some of the lessons that you've currently learned while creating Makis Adventure right there. That wisdom, I love that. So like with Makis Adventure, you were fully dedicated to like making a good shark game as well. We're gonna expect to see a lot of monkeys in the jungle game. What
Um,
animal is gonna be the centric theme of the jungle game?
I know it is not fitting, but there will be a shark, and
Okay.
it will probably be the same color as Maki as an
Uh-huh.
Easter egg. But really funny is that Maki is a shark demon, and the main character in Rogue Jungle is a crow demon.
I
So I
like
really
that.
want to get this animal demon characters into my game. That could be maybe the slogan of my studio of ZoroArts.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. You next
And
thing you know, you'll be ready to have like a Smash Brothers demon roster of animals.
yeah, about the question, for the full game, I plan to make 30 to 40 different normal enemies that you
Mhm.
find throughout the dungeon, and I want to make 7 to 8 dungeon bosses that will be randomly chosen in each run. So each one will have one boss. It will not be with floors like Enter the Gungeon, because that's way too much stuff to do for one developer, and I really want to get this game out this year. So I really want to make a smaller experience, but I want to put all my time into polish and into content.
I love that. I love that. I think that's a really solid idea. So, I want to get back to some of the reasons you had here because I feel like there are I love the thread here because you kind of went into detail. I think you gave 4 reasons overall, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken. Reason number 2, you said time management. You said I'm a solo dev, so I had to handle everything on my own. I spent way more time developing the game and marketing started way too late. Also, the conversion rate was absolutely terrible for me. So that's the thing I need to keep in mind. So you said, and to follow up on that, Marker, you said you spent a lot of time into making TikToks, which had some really successful videos with over 500K plus views. That's exciting, by the way. Congrats on that.
thank you.
But the conversion on TikTok is super low. So even a Twitter post with 100 likes converted into more wish lists. Focus on social medias with higher conversions, you said. I love that. I love that knowledge you're passing on to people. And I feel like that's good. That's really good insight, because
Thank you.
a lot of people would think like, hey, 500 means a lot more than 100, but it just depends on what platform you're at and what that actually means to your conversion rate of like wish lists. So I think that's solid insight. Do you want to elaborate on that any further?
Yeah, I can definitely dive into it more. Like with time management, I meant that I had to plan my timing a little better for the next game. For example, I'm really big into TikTok, because TikTok is a portal where you can social media where you can upload. There's don't have to put so much effort into a video, for example. Like when I put 2 or 3 hours into editing and make a really polished video, it gets like 100 or 200 views. But when I just for example get the reaction of a famous YouTuber in Germany, that's one of my marketing plans, for example. I from 12 or 30 very popular streamers or YouTubers, I got some pretty good feedback, and they really like the game. They even played it on stream. So I got like from 10,000 Twitch viewers at the same time who watched the game, and that really converted well. So I think it got me 2,000 wishlist. But the TikTok post, which had I think 612,000 views from the first posting, it went pretty bad. I think it got me like 20 wishlist, because TikTok is social media where people will, of course, see the video, but the less people will actually go onto a link or search for Makis Adventure on Steam, if you know what I mean. Many people will just scroll past, like the video, share it, for example, and just scroll or leave a nice comment. So TikTok is not the social media to get a conversion, in my opinion. But there are, for example, other social medias like Twitter, which are pretty good for me. And of course, Reddit. For every indie dev post on Reddit, this is super incredible, the feedback there. Because there you have the PC gamers, for example, that would actually go on a link and wishlist or buy the game, because they are separated like indie gaming, where people just go and search for new indie games to discover. So that's your audience to target as an indie developer. And there's of course also the big gaming Reddit, and this is actually the heaven for indie developers, because just for an example, one of my announcements for the release date got like I think 7,000 upvotes in like I think 5 minutes.
Oh,
It
wow.
it could be easily at 100,000 upvotes when I'm right. It's I thought I made it when I saw it, to be honest, but the post got took down at I think 9,000 upvotes after 5 minutes. So the moderation on the subreddit is really strict, and they don't want to see indie developers there. I even got blacklisted and muted from them because they don't like my game. They are
Oh,
like I don't want to talk bad about them, but I don't
yeah.
like the moderators of Reddit gaming. They didn't even give me a reason, because on their rules it said like every 10th post should be about your game, and I posted the first time after posting like 20 normal gaming related stuff on there. I think it's pretty hard to actually make it through the moderation there. But maybe if your game is really good, you can definitely try that. But I
Yeah.
can only not recommend Reddit enough for you, indie developers. It's
Okay.
really heaven.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Indie developers, definitely check out Reddit. Be careful where you post, evidently, because some people are just very finicky. But like, yeah, definitely recommend Reddit there. Um, it seems like you got quite a lot of responses from all these different threads, from these threads. Like, you had several different questions and you elaborated on a lot of them. And man, congratulations on the feedback, because like, not only were you able to provide good feedback, it seems like you were able to get like a substantial amount of solid feedback from other people who went through similar struggles. What like, I want to ask you, what lessons do you feel like you've learned from other people based on the thread you posted?
First of all, the thread was really good.
It
I
was.
haven't posted
Mhm.
anything that good for me because at the time I posted, I had 1.5 K followers on Twitter, and
Mhm.
now I have 2K. So this one post got me 500 new followers. It's incredible for me, and I think it has like 230K views right now. So
Yeah.
it was really, really important and big to post it actually because it's like a post-mortem for me for my game. And yeah, there are pretty also like industry people that posted. There's, for
Mhm.
example, one publisher that also followed me with 100,000 Twitter followers, and it's like um, I think the post did really well, and the feedback, for example, like on the one hand, the people really like the game, and I got pretty many sales and wish list. Excuse me,
Yeah.
I have to.
No, go ahead. Bless you. So
Thank you.
yeah, you're absolutely right. It seems like after that thread, it's like it really just took off. Like as far as like a lot of the engagement for like with you with on social media, especially on Twitter, and I'm glad to hear it helped the game out quite a bit because like I saw the thread. I think the same day you posted it, but before like I don't think it had went quite as viral at that time frame, and I was just when you posted it, I was thinking, man, this is really introspective. I'm gonna keep my eyes on this and see what the general response is. And then as more and more people started talking about like the general wave of consensus of like offering good advice, also I saw you commenting on other people's other people's
Yeah.
questions and such like that. It became something special, and I'm like, I want to commend you for that because that's really special to actually be able to have that conversation.
Yeah, it's like the thread was actually also a good thing to get feedback because I got so good feedback also on the game. Some people also like recommended me to get, for example, a new Steam capsule because the game
Hmm.
looked way more polished and better than the Steam capture looks. So actually, people went through my profile and found my game on Steam through the thread and gave me some feedback on the game and not only on my marketing, for example. And that was really that's the thing I like about Twitter. There are actually people that want to help you and that they're also developing video in indie games, if you know what
Hmm.
I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my social media where I want to post game dev related things. And yeah, it's I cannot be happier about the thread, to be honest.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, I want to dive into the next reason. Let me see if I can find it right here. It is reason number 3, the release date. I released my game January 18th because I thought it would be smart to release a game after Christmas. This was not the case, and many people wrote to me that they did not have money left after buying presents. So my day one was pretty low from sales. You followed that up by saying in December, 2 weeks before my release, I exhibited a game at DreamHack DE in the indie game area. A person who worked at an indie publisher even told me to choose a different release date after hearing that I wanted to release in January. So yeah, what like hindsight's 2020, of course, like it's easy to look back on things and change it now. But what date do you feel like would have been a better release date outside of January for your indie game?
I've heard a lot that at the end of the year would be a good time. So
Hmm.
before Christmas, of course, because Christmas is often the date where the bigger companies release their games because of the Christmas business. But I think for my current game, I will target November because it's between the it's before Christmas and it's
Yeah.
at the end of the year, so the people will definitely spare the money from them because they want to buy Christmas presents. So that's the time of the year where people have the most money. Um, and also like after Christmas, it's a new year. The indie, as I said, an indie publisher person that work in an indie publisher recommended me to go target like November, October, so this section of the year before Christmas and at the end of the year because people will have the most money there. And I I would definitely also recommend everyone to look into a Steam calendar because a Steam calendar you can search for a month where the other games that release there are pretty under your values, if you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
they have less wish lists, less followers, and if you're on top of them, so if you are number one, you will get a popular upcoming, and that's where you want to be as an indie developer, because when you get featured in popular upcoming, you are on the front page of Steam, and you will gain thousands of new wish lists, and it can make your game go viral, if you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
the best thing to target as an indie developer is popular upcoming. For me, I had around 8.5 thousand wish lists at launch, and I
Hmm.
haven't got into popular upcoming because normally they say 7 to 8 thousand wish lists are enough to get into it, but in January there was a huge concurrence, so there were many different games that were better from the statistics in my game.
Yeah.
So I chose a really bad month, to be honest, and I went under the radar of many Steam players, and I learned a lot by choosing, and I will definitely choose another Steam a different release date for my next project.
Yeah, so it seems like picking a release window is key for indie game studio, not only because of like the indie game landscape, but also because like when you look at it on the AAA side of things, I'm like a lot of these games cost a lot more money now. Like $70 in US is what an average AAA game costs. Hell, even Tears of the Kingdom, which was a Switch title, cost $10 more for no reason at all, just because it was a Zelda game, this year. It is crazy how much a release date can make or break a like the success of a video game nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I want to, like I feel like this is really good insight. I want to go and pivot to your number 4, which is your bonus reason. You said bad playtesting. And here's what you said about that. One of the biggest reasons that also led to 3 negative Steam reviews on day 1 was a buggy launch. The players really liked the game, but a few game-breaking bugs destroyed their experiences and really annoyed them. Play test your games properly! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! So you very much admit this one. So can you elaborate a little bit more on that one? I feel like that's really good insight.
Yeah, playtesting is big topic for developers. Like AAA companies have their own department for that. They have like quality assurance, they have playtesting, and they really. It's a shame when a AAA game gets launched buggy because they have the resources to test the game,
Hmm.
and I think it's way more okay for a player that when an indie game has some launch bugs. For me, of course, it was really bad because my game had 2 or 3 game breaking bugs that were fixed on day 1, but 3 reviews that were negative, but only because the people really liked the game. Each review has like pretty good game, but way too buggy. So the reviews actually were great, so were good, but the bugs destroyed the whole experience for many people, and I can only say that I will definitely try to test my game way more in the future. Right now, as I said, I have a public playtest. I want to do it like every 2 months until release, or every month. Some new mechanics to test and how the gameplay combines and how the players like the game, what they want to change. I would definitely also introduce Google Docs or Google Form sheets that players can fill out with their feedback, because I really want to make a game for the players and not for me, if you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
I also want to get the feedback from the players into the game. And that's a big thing that every indie developer should know about. I, of course, knew about testing and play testing, but the last months of development were so stressful and I just couldn't get it done because when I had tested more, the game wouldn't be completed for the release. So I made many mistakes on my first game, but I also learned so much. So yeah,
That's
I'm pretty
amazing,
happy.
man. Yeah.
And of
Yeah.
course, like the game right now, there are no zero game-breaking bugs right now that were reported. The
Hmm.
reviews are only positive right now. I think it's like 90% positive on Steam, and that's a big compliment for an indie developer because Steam is pretty strict with reviews. So
Oh yeah, very
Steam players,
cutthroat.
yeah, Steam players are the like if Steam players like the game, if your game is at a very positive or positive, you can definitely um think that your game is good, and because Steam players won't hold back, they will
Oh
just
no.
tell you their honest opinion, and that's what we developers need.
Yeah, they definitely don't hold back on their opinions for sure, man.
Yeah,
It's really cool like that you were able to get traction, and that you're able to actually like have a very positive rating on Steam. That's something to be celebrated. I want to talk about some of the other lessons you've learned during this journey after the game's release. Do you feel like the reception of it has improved over time, like after the launch? I know, like you said, like you were able to bounce back and get an overall like positive score on Steam, but how is like the word of mouth reception been like for you?
overall it's pretty great.
That's good.
So right now the game is like pretty positive. The reviews are at 90%. I got so many good press reviews, even Forbes wrote about the game,
Hmm.
and it's like all the reviews are at 8 or 9 out of 10. So I cannot be happier about the press reviews, for example. Also, like the players, like the game, the like players get to know the game more and more, because right now I'm streaming on TikTok
Yeah.
every evening, and I'm developing games. I'm speedrunning the game, and also like the comments are only positive right now. For example, I streamed 2 days ago, and only with like 1 hour of stream, and I played the game. Players, the viewers ask, what is the game about, and
Hmm.
like only this stream got me, I think, 40 units sold. That's like
Oh, that's
400
amazing.
$400.
Yeah.
So that's for an hourly wage, that would be incredible. But
Yeah.
of course,
That's
yeah,
amazing.
streaming really pushes the algorithm on TikTok. So right now my videos on TikTok really do well. I posted a video 2 weeks ago which has like almost 500k views again.
Hmm.
Like every video has like over 10,000 views right now, and it's like I had a pretty down time on TikTok. Like my views were really depressing, and it's like, should I post or should I develop, or should I just stick to the new game, and shouldn't? So I thought maybe posting is not worth it on TikTok, because I got shadow banned. That's my thought over the last months after
Yeah.
release. But right now it's going into the great direction again. The community is growing, and like I'm getting into contact with press. I'm exhibiting at Gamescom for my first time in my life.
That's
It's my
amazing.
dream. It's my dream for 3 years now to exhibit there, and I just bought a booth there, and this year I'm in the indie area in Gamescom.
Man,
Also,
that's
like,
amazing. Congratulations. I'd love to hear that.
thank you. Yeah, it's a dream come true, and like even Gamescom followed me on TikTok and on Twitter, so it's like pretty cool to actually see that they found my game on social media. And yeah, it's going into a great direction. Like the roguelike has some pretty good things right now, because some streamers already reached out to me that are pretty big in Germany and really like
Hmm.
roguelike. So I only developed the game for 1 month, and the reception of the new roguelike is also so good right now, and I cannot be happier. Like of course, the sale was not the launch was not as good as I wanted, but
Hmm.
it's my first game, so I don't give a fuck about it, to be honest.
Yeah, I understand that completely. Man, it is like that's amazing. And it seems like you're taking a lot of these lessons that you've learned, such as genres, like for instance, and like the importance of like nailing a genre, or like of like actually hitting a genre that's not oversaturated, and you're applying that to your new project, man. So shout out to all the success that you're having. Gamescom is huge, man. Like that's a
Thank you.
huge get. And dude, I'm proud of you. I really am. And like just want to say that it's not easy talking about what you perceive to be as like your personal failures as well. I know, like for me personally, like I have a hard time sometimes admitting when I've failed or when I'm wrong. So like you have been so great at trying to help other people understand like what you went through and also like the things that they can be doing better with their game. And I can't commend you enough for that. That's been super helpful for a lot of people. And man, you definitely deserve your flowers for that.
Thank you. I mean, we are all just humans and we all have the dream to make video games in
Mhm.
the indie developer scene. So I think like, why should I make a secret about my mistakes? And of course, like, I wouldn't leak something like my Steam statistics right now because I cannot talk about that. But
Yeah, for sure.
everything I can talk about without having any thoughts or any fears with Steam or something like that, I will definitely be very transparent about. So I love to talk about my mistakes and also about my wins, of course, because
Yeah.
um, I think it's really normal to make mistakes during development, and I'm so happy how the game turned out in the end, and I'm always happy to help indie developers because I like right now I got like Discord DMs and emails every day with like, how did you achieve that? How did you make your game? How did you get into Forbes, for example, even? And yeah, the people are really like, I was on the same spot where they were, so I asked other developers, how did you do that? And now people ask me about that, and I'm more than happy to help them to understand how my journey was and how that, like, making mistakes. And of course, it's for me, the Earth was destroyed because like I didn't get into Gamescom last year. My game was rejected.
Hmm.
Makis Adventure was rejected at so many events because maybe the quality was not good enough. Maybe the genre is just not popular under the gamers. People want more realistic 3D games, I think, and getting into festivals as a 2D pixel art game is really hard because like there are so many other pixel art games, and for example, there are these games that do it into every showcase, and there's sometimes a moment where I just think, do they really want to get the light on new indies, or do they just want to make money and show popular indies? Because
Yeah.
many of the shows where they say we want to highlight new and unknown indie games, they just highlight the same games that you highlight at the Game Awards, for example, that everybody knows about. And
Hmm.
it's like the industry is really not free, and they all want just money and want to make profit. And the indie spirit is dying a lot of times, I think. And
Yeah,
I'm
I can
happy
completely
to get the
understand that.
word out of. I'm also happy to highlight indie games on my Twitter, for example. Like,
Hmm.
I love to post games I really like and I follow their journey. And we all should be more supportive in the indie area, in the indie scene. And
Yeah,
I
for
really
sure.
want to help there.
For sure. And you're right about that. There is a lot of like the same indie games that do get highlighted versus like because the world is filled with like indie games that should,
Yeah,
you know, take their turn in the spotlight, so to speak. So you're right about that. Like there's which is why I feel like it's more important now than ever to have like multiple indie showcases where like
yeah,
there's a outlet called 61 Indie that did a fantastic indie showcase a couple of
I
months
know
back.
them.
Yeah, yeah, they're really
They're
good
pretty
people.
good.
Yeah, really good
I
people.
also submitted my game for their new showcase. Maybe it gets in.
I hope
I would
so.
hope. Yeah, I would. I
Mhm.
love that because I really love their stuff, and I really love to watch their podcast and watch their shows, and pretty good content. I cannot recommend them enough.
Yeah, yeah, they're really solid, and they do really good showcases. So yeah, definitely. Everyone, if you haven't already, give 6 Month Indie a follow. They're definitely doing some good work over there. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's one of those things to where we need like the to further the point there. We need more showcases like that. We need more insight into games that we haven't been exposed to previously over and over again. I'm not privy to give an example right now. I can't think of a game that's been oversaturated right now, but I get what you're saying though. There is like that same repeat of, oh, I've seen that indie at this showcase and this showcase and this showcase. Whereas we do have like a lot of indies that in this world, I get emails about an indie game all the time that I never heard about before, and I was just like, man, that would have been really great to see on a showcase platform. So yeah, we do need definitely more voices and more highlights of indie games out here. Mateo, before before we get into our latter portion of the show, I do want to ask you one thing, and that is, what is I've gotten into this segment of the show since the last time you've been on the show, by the way, and it is, what game would you like to highlight? So, in the spirit of what we just talked about, I've created a segment of the show about like where I give our guests an opportunity to highlight another game that they think people should check out. So, Mateo, what game would you recommend people check out today?
Well, it's a pretty tough decision because I want to highlight so many games, but
Yeah.
like one game that really I also helped sometimes in development.
Mhm.
I gave them some advice and helped them with a UI decision. It was, do you know Bow Path of the Teal Lotus?
No, can you describe the game for me?
It's like Japanese folklore, like Metroidvania with beautiful graphics, comparable to Hollow Knight in my opinion.
Oh,
You
that's
can
sweet.
search it up, like the gameplay, and it's so incredible. And they
Mhm.
even announced a partnership with Humble Games to get the game out there. And it's like, it's so cool. They made a Kickstarter that was widely successful last year, or I think it was last year, yeah. And I got into contact with with a few of the developers there, and they are so cool people. And um, I think that's one of the best upcoming Metroidvanias in my opinion, and
Oh,
they really deserve all the attention they get right now, and I love them.
you're speaking a lot of my languages here. You're talking roguelikes and Metroidvanias right now. That's genres that I really like playing. So that
Only
sounds
the best genres.
yeah, that sounds very intriguing to me. So, do you have any other game you want to highlight as well? I want to give you a chance to shout out another one.
Let me just maybe I find something when I like right now there's nothing coming into my head, but maybe if I log on my Twitter timeline.
It's all good. While
uh
you're doing that, though, I'm gonna segue into our next portion of the show. Mateo, it is time for our pro nerd trivia portion of the show, which is where I ask my guest 5 different categories based on 5 different areas of nerdy expertise. So you have,
oh yeah.
yeah. So here is how the game works. You got five different questions. All these 5 different questions come from 5 random categories. At the end, we will see if you can get all 5 questions correct and be named a pro nerd. So far, we only have one entry into our pro nerd hall of fame. That means one person who got all 5 of their questions correct. Will we have another today? We will see, because Mateo is going to face the gauntlet. So, Mateo, are you ready?
I'm ready.
I like to hear it. I like the enthusiasm there. All right, Mateo, our first question comes in the world of the MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe. This question is a good one. I like this one. What is the name of the alias of James Rhodey, aka Iron Man's compatriot slash sidekick? This
I
superhero name.
I haven't watched a lot of Iron Man, to be honest.
Okay, I understand that. And the answer, we had 2 acceptable answers. It would have been Iron Patriot and War Machine were the 2 acceptable answers here in this case. But we'll move on from that. Our next question is in the realm of Star Wars. Star Wars in the galaxy far, far away. In the video game Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, we're introduced to a new young protagonist, a new Jedi. What is the name of the protagonist of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order?
I'm embarrassing myself so much.
It is all good. It is
But
all good.
in my knowledge about Star Wars and superheroes is so bad, to be honest.
Hey man, we all got our weaknesses. We all got our weaknesses. Mine's Star Trek. I can't name a Star Trek trivia question right now to save my life. So I get this completely. So the answer is Cal Kestis. Cal Kestis is his name. Our next question is in the realm of Pokemon. Gotta catch 'em
That could
all.
be my question then.
Yeah, let's see. All right. So in the realm of Pokemon, Ash, aka Red, in the original Red, Blue, and Green games, and Yellow, also was given a choice between 4 different types of Pokemon. The Pokemon were Pikachu, Charmander, Squirtle, and what grass type?
Bulbasaur, I think, but
Bulbasaur is the correct answer. Yes.
I had to think about the English name. I only know the German name
Well,
because I'm
how do you
German.
say it in German?
Bisasam.
Oh, say it one more time.
Bisasam.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't. So, what's the German adaptation of Pikachu?
Pikachu. It's pretty
It's just
simple.
Pikachu. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, how many Pokemon like have different pronunciations in German? Or
I think almost every Pokemon.
everyone but Pikachu, basically.
Yeah, I think maybe a few of them not, but I think about 90% have different names in Germany.
Wow, I never knew that. Like, I never knew they went the extra mile. I always thought, I don't know why this. I conceivably thought there was just English variations of Pokemon, but that's really cool. I never even knew that tidbit.
I mean, it's pretty obvious because, like, for example, Bulbasaur, so Bisasam, Samen in Germany is seed, so it's from like he has this seed on his back.
Yeah.
Also, like Charmander is Glumanda in Germany, and Glut is called like when the fire, the fire on his tail is also a fire. So yeah, I think it's better for German kids to actually know why they name their Pokemon like that. Maybe that's one of the reasons.
Hey, it makes more sense than Charmander, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Like, the Bulbasaur part I get because it does have a bulb on his back, but like, I mean,
Squirtle
Charmander
too.
Yeah, Squirtle.
Like Squirtle with I think, like, is it called? No, it's called tortoise. I think. No.
That's interesting. That's right on the nose. I like that. That's really good. So, okay, so our next question. So you got 1 right, 2 wrong. Our next question is going to be in the realm of anime. All right, so are you kind of confident about this category, or are you a little worried?
Like, there are so many animes, so I don't know about all of them, of course, but I watched many animes like One Piece, Naruto, Detective Conan. I really love animes, but like, the question is really dependent on like the anime, of course.
Yeah, so here is the question, and this one might be a tough one depending on who you are. There was a competitor in the 90s and 2000s to Pokemon. They were is a card capturing company by the name of Yu-Gi-Oh! In the anime, what is the name of the main character of Yu-Gi-Oh?
I think it's Yugi.
Yeah, that is absolutely correct. That is absolutely correct.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, that is
Sorry,
absolutely correct. Yeah, Yugi.
I only know his first name. Then how is his full name?
Let me make sure I got this.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Let me make sure I got his name pronunciation right here. Let's see. All right, so you got Yu-Gi-Oh! It says Yugi on the character name, but I've never actually watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay, so it's Yugi Mateo. It looks like Mutou. So spelled differently. But that's his name. You got the other guy. I know I always called him Kaiba, but like he was almost like the rival of Yu-Gi-Oh! I remember him. So yeah, that's all my Yu-Gi-Oh! Knowledge. I've played the games. I've never actually watched the anime though. All right, so you're 2 for 2. So this could be the make or break. Will you have a winning record after all is said and done? We have one last question left that will decide that very question. And that is in the realm, this is fun, of action movies. Action movies.
Okay.
Yeah. Name the famous franchise in which this character, Arnold Schwarzenegger, said the line, "I'll be back." What famous phrase, "I'll be back"? was
Was it in Terminator?
yes, that is absolutely correct. It was the
Really?
Terminator series. Yeah.
Because I only know that he played the character in Terminator, so I don't know about other movies with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Mhm.
So I got pretty lucky, I think.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a classic Terminator line from the 1984 film Terminator. So have you ever seen the movies?
I think I only watched memes about it, but not the movie
Oh,
itself.
I feel you. I feel you. All right, so you're 3 of 5. That's a pretty good record. I like to think. How do you feel about your performance today?
Like there were two topics that I don't know anything about. Like I watched Star Wars: The Clone Wars when I was a child earlier,
Mhm.
but yeah, the other thing I was it was like what was the other topic?
It was MCU Iron Man. So
Yeah, that's
Iron Man
also
specifically.
like for me. I watch a lot of Netflix, like Spider-Man in the movie I watched
Uh-huh.
recently. So maybe I could answer questions about that from the superheroes, but I am really like my knowledge about superheroes and Marvel and DC is really low. So I like when I have to guess, I would have guessed that I wouldn't get it correct, to be honest.
I can understand that. You did pretty well, all things considering. All the categories you knew something about, like you answered really well. So it was just bad luck of the draw, so to speak, that you got 2 categories you didn't know anything about. Well, Mateo, before we go though, there's something currently going on, and that's called Steam Next Fest. And that is where a lot of people can play some really cool up and coming games. They can play the demos, they can also check out some of the blog posts and really find out about games they should have on their radar. Do you have anything from Steam Next Fest that you want to highlight today?
I actually have two games that
Uh-huh.
really deserve everything that I get right now. Um, there are many games, but there are two games that are really, for me, important that they have a successful launch. The first game is I don't know if you know it, but it's called Thronefall.
I've heard of that one. I've heard of that one,
Yeah,
but
it's super great. It's a real-time strategy game where you have like a medieval setting,
mhm.
and you are like the landlord, and you have to go around the area, like collect taxes, build up the village, and defend. Because like there's a topic I really wanted to make a game about too. I really wanted to catch that. At the day you build your base and
Mhm.
build your fighters, and in the night you have to defend your like it's switching from this real-time strategy where you build stuff to the tower defense where you have to defend all the stuff in the night, and you cannot build new stuff in the night, I think. And it's developed by two German developers. One of the developers I watched like every devlog about because like, do you know Will Snail?
Yeah. No,
You,
I haven't heard of him. Can you give us what else has he made?
he made like a 2D platformer like my game,
Uh-huh.
but with a snail where you have to like you fight against an AI that predicts your movement. So like there are like
Oh.
small levels, and like
Mhm.
this AI tries to kill you, and it's learning from your playstyle. So for example, if you move a lot to the right, it will place like a spike in front of you. So the AI can play stuff, and it's like as if you would play against another player, and like it's really funny but also super hard. It's a rage game, and like he's pretty doing a great job on YouTube. He's
Mhm.
like doing great stuff there. I love his devlogs, pretty high
Okay.
quality. He's called Jonas Tyroller, so if you want to check it out, I can really recommend the videos,
Yeah, for
because
sure.
it's like combining the educational part from a game developer and like this lifestyle from a game developer with the like fun and the memes, and like Danny, if you know Danny. Danny
Yeah.
is like the biggest and like for me the best game dev YouTuber I know,
Mhm.
because like he's he's not giving that much about education. Like he's not like that, like here's the code, here's how I wrote it. He's like
Yeah.
he's going full with the meme game, if you know what I mean. And his
For
videos
sure.
are so entertainment, and it's like super cool the videos. And yeah, those two YouTubers I really like. I like their games. As I said, Thronefall is a big recommendation for me. And the other game is called Little Kitty Big City. It's about
Oh.
you know
Mhm.
that, right? It's
Yeah, I've heard of that one too. Uh-huh.
it went viral on Twitter too, because like it's I think like they announced it after Stray, and Stray did like this completely viral game. Like
massive numbers.
yeah, and like people can get enough from cats in video games, playing a cat, getting petted, attacking other humans as a cat, and it's like super funny. And Little Kitty Big City is like you play the cat and you like I think it's more like a sandbox in some case, because you can like just walk around, like annoy other humans, fight against other. I don't know if they have fighting, but maybe I haven't played it right now, but I will definitely check it out today. And yeah, it's a big recommendation to her, because I really love the art style, and like from what I've seen, the game is super wholesome, so it's really cute, and the developer made a big game.
Yeah, you know what it kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of a cat cozy version of little what was it? Untitled Goose Game in a little way,
Yeah.
Like where you can kind of just go around messing with people and such.
Like for me, I really want to make something like that too, because like I've got the idea. Imagine you play as a Pidgeot, so you fly around and you can
just
actually
poop on people.
Yeah. It's like a precision game where you have to aim that you hit specific humans that are walking, like they are your targets, and you can like. I really like Pidgeots. I think they are really funny animals, and like it's pretty funny. But we had 2 Pidgeots in our flat.
Oh, do y'all?
Because my brother loves to feed the Pidgeots, and he has like this corns and throws it out of the window to feed the Pidgeots that are coming towards our window. And one day he forgot to close the window, and 2 Pidgeots actually flew into our window. And
what?
When he got back into his working desk, he is also a programmer, and he's programming a lot in his room. And when he came back to his room, he just saw 2 Pidgeots sitting on his desk and watching him.
That is crazy.
It's super funny. I immediately thought about, let's make a viral TikTok out of it, because TikTok is a platform to post like funny stuff like that. And yeah, it was definitely the highlight of my week, this Pidgeot attack.
That is amazing. I love that. I absolutely love that. I can't imagine just coming home and or coming back to your desk and you just see Pidgeots just looking at you like that. That's so funny. That is so funny. I'd play that game, by the way. A pigeon game where you kind of just got to be a nuisance and mess with people. I'd definitely check that out.
Maybe I will develop a small prototype, and if it go viral on Twitter, I will make it one day.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely something up my alley that I'd love to check out for a little bit. So Mateo, thank you for the recommendations for the Steam Next Fest. I'm going to, I haven't dove into all of it yet. That's kind of my game plan for today. But everyone, I want to thank you so much for listening to this episode. Definitely go check out Mateo's projects. You should definitely go wishlist his new game, and you should also give some love to Makis Adventure. This is if you especially like platformer games, if you especially like games to where you can kind of like get that retro vibe, as well as get a really cool really cool shark mechanic with an action adventure platformer, you should definitely give this a shot as well. This is a game that I played earlier today, and I'm so glad that I actually got to experience it. Like, definitely go check it out. It should definitely be on your radar. So
thank you so much.
Oh man, for sure. Always, you're part of the fam, man. Always glad to have you on the show. Before we go though, where can the good people find you, Mateo?
Of course, on Twitter, I'm called ZoroArts_dev there. Also, you can find Makis Adventure on Steam. Definitely give it a try if you like platformers or pixel art games. It would mean a lot to me if you could, of course, there's a free demo for you to play. If you don't want to spend like $9 on the game before playing a demo or like seeing a trailer, there's of course a trailer, a demo for free. And if you like the demo, feel free to grab $9 and buy the game on Steam. It would mean a lot to me, because I'm a solo developer and it's my dream to develop games full time someday. And I'm sure I will get there in like the next, like maybe in next year. I will see how the roguelike will do on Steam. I hope it will perform good, that I can maybe work more on the games instead of going in a restaurant and working there. Also, I work in the university right now. So my time is really limited, to be honest, and I would love to focus on video games and on my studying.
Well, everyone, definitely go wishlist this game and go follow it. Go follow all the blogs and such like that. This man is a hard-working individual, constantly marketing, constantly developing, and also in school right now. He's doing it all, and he's absolutely making it work. I'm absolutely so proud of him. Always glad to have him on the show. Everyone, I've been Sebastion. This has been the Single Player Experience. That's been my lovely guest, Mateo. And until next time, everyone, we're out. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Hey, thank you so much for watching the video. If you liked the video, hit that like button. Also, for more videos just like this one, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right here. Thanks again for watching the video, and for more like it, stay right here at the Pro Nerd Report channel. So that's a wrap for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit that like button. Also, hit the subscribe button for more videos just like this one. I also want to let you know about the Single Player Experience Discord server. It's a perfect place for single player gamers to talk about the good single player games that they've been playing lately and to get video game recommendations. Think of it kind of like a book club for single player gamers. The link to join will be in the description. Once you're in, feel free to share your video game backlog list, talk about the good single player games you've been playing, or give your feedback on the show. If you have a game you think it should be recommended and should be reviewed, let me know about it right there. Before we go, I just want to thank you once again for listening to today's episode. Stay safe, stay gaming, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Peace.